많이 안 했어요. 그래서 잘 몰라요.
Okay, so let's repeat those two sentences together. 저는 캠핑을 많이 안 했어요. 그래서 잘 몰라요. Okay, so let's translate everything together. Wait, let me just repeat a little bit slower because sometimes I tend to read a little bit fast. So 저는 캠핑을 많이 안 했어요. 그래서 잘 몰라요. Okay, so let's translate everything together. We have 저는, which once again, okay, we have seen it a lot of times. If you are not a complete beginner, you definitely know what that is. So it is the I version, okay? However, it is formal, so you always need to pair it with either a 요입니다, 합니다, 씁니다. Okay, so it is me. And then we have 캠핑을, which is a Konglish word that you guys are probably familiar if you have been there yesterday. So it is basically camping. However, they wrote it in like a Korean way of saying it in English. So that is why it is camping. And then we have money. Does any of you guys remember what money means? So we have seen it a lot of times before. So I'm pretty sure that you guys know what money would mean, which is from the verb manda. Comment down below if you guys know what this word means. So comment down below if you guys know what money means. So it sounds like a very, how can I say that? There is an English word that sounds very, very close to that one, so it's easier to remember. And as you guys know, I tend to practice words again and again to make sure that they stick to your brain. So what does money mean? Comment down below. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to try and guess what money would mean. So comment down below if you guys know the answer. Even if you don't know the answer, you can still try and guess, as it will make it easier for your brain to pick up that word. So I'm going to give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys are correct. So money is from the verb, manda, to be a lot or to be many. So the word that is very similar in English is many. However, in Korean, you pronounce it money. So, right, the A is not like A in English, so it is money. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. And then we have an, which is a negation. You want to use that when you want to put your sentence in negative forms. As you guys probably know, there are multiple ways to put a sentence into negative forms, and an is one of them. Then we have 했어요, which is from the verb 하다, okay? Verb 하다, which is to do. However, since there is a double 시옷 under here, we know that it is in the past tense. So it basically translates to did. So it's basically saying that she, okay, didn't do, okay, a lot of camping. So she haven't done a lot of camping. That is another way that we can translate this sentence. So I camping a lot, not did. And then let's jump to the next sentence under here. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Also, if you are new, don't forget to follow me just right here. I go live 3 to 5 times each week where we study Korean just like this together. Then we have 그래서. So I know I'm going to ask you guys again, okay, again and again, probably until I stop doing those live. What does 그래서 mean? So comment down below if you guys remember what 그래서 would mean. So since it is a word that is starting in 그, it is, like I keep saying, a connective word. So it connects the two sentences together. So comment down below what 그래서 would mean. So comment down below what 그래서 would mean. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to try and guess. I see a lot of great answers. So I will make sure that everyone is able to write it before I give you guys the answer. So comment down below what 그래서 would mean. I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. A lot of people yesterday told me that they remember 그래서 because of the ending. So a lot of people can remember this word with so, right? So, or you can also say therefore or in other words. Okay, so these are the type of words that you can translate 그래서 to. So for example, so sounds very similar to so in English. So that is how a lot of people remember what 그래서 would mean. So you will always see this word at the beginning of the sentence, and it is to connect those two sentences together. And then we have 잘 몰라요. So we have 잘. Does any of you guys remember what 잘 would mean? Thank you so much for the follow and the like. Thank you, thank you. You guys are the best. So what does 잘 would mean? So we have seen it, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so comment down below if you guys know what 잘 would mean. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to try and guess what 잘 would mean. Hello, Mimi. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for the heart, me. Thank you for the heart. So what does 잘 mean? I'm gonna give you a few seconds to try and guess what 잘 would mean. So I'm gonna give you the answer in 5. Can use for that. 안녕 알렉스. 어떻게 지내요? Good, and you? I'm doing great. Thank you. My Wi-Fi is so bad. Oh no, I hope it will get better. So yes, 잘, as I keep saying, it has 2 different meanings. So it can either mean something that is good, okay, or something that is, wait, what was the other answer that people, well can also work depending on the context, okay? So here we have 몰라요, which is from the verb 모르다, to not know. So basically it's saying I don't know well, okay? So she doesn't know well how camping works because she has not done it a lot of times. It's lagging. Oh, so is it me, the issue? Maybe it's me, the issue. Do you guys are still having trouble? Because my Wi-Fi works. I don't know what's happening. It's cutting off. Is it still cutting off for you guys? If not, I might need to leave and come back. It's better for me. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to comment down below and let me know if it is okay now. It's good now? Okay, I really don't know what happened. That was weird. First time that this happens to me, so it was probably a problem on my end. So it's good now? Okay, I don't know where it was cutting off. So I'm gonna be explaining, okay? Once again, the sentence, very sorry about that. Is good? Okay, perfect. So we have 그래서, once again, that either means so, therefore, or in other words, okay? And then we have 잘, which is good or something well, and 몰라요, which is from the verb 모르다, to not know. So it's saying that, so, very sorry, so many noise today. I don't know what's happening. So, therefore, in other words, she doesn't know well about camping. So that would be how you can translate that sentence. So let me repeat the 2 sentences, okay, above the answer. Please let me know if it's cutting again, okay, because I need to know. So we have I camping a lot, not did. So she didn't do a lot of camping before. So therefore, in other words, well or good, doesn't know. So she doesn't know well about it. So that would be how you translate those 2 sentences. Very sorry about the interruptions. Hopefully it is better now. So if you guys have any questions about those 2 sentences, sorry, you can comment down below and I will be answering. But we will continue with the next ones. However, like I said, if you have any questions, please ask below. And if it's lagging again, please let me know as well.
그렇지만 정말 기대돼요.
Okay, thank you so much for the follow and the like. Thank you. So now let's repeat this very simple sentences. So we have 그렇지만 정말 기대돼요. So we have 그렇지만. Does any of you guys know what 그렇지만 would mean? So it is a complexion of the verb 그렇다, okay? And then 지만. So 지만 is often kind of a negation, but together 그렇지만. Does any of you guys know the meaning behind 그렇지만? Comment down below if you guys know the meaning of 그렇지만. So I think it's a harder word, but once again, it is a word that is starting in 그, so it means it is some kind of connective words. Okay, so comment down below. I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to try and guess what 그렇지만 would mean. So I'm gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So kind of all of your answers would be correct. So technically 그렇지만 would be a form of but. However, like the lender said, nevertheless could be a great translation for that. I only know 지만. That's okay. You have probably seen 그러 before, right? Like, for example, 그렇구나 or 그렇군요, which is, oh, right. So hopefully this helped. Let me just go see on Naver Dictionary if there is any other translation that might work with 그렇지만, but it's kind of saying a but. So yes, but, however, nevertheless are the three main ones. So let me see if there is, even though, no, even though it didn't work. Though could work though. Though could work though. So like for example, he left his number though. So though can work as it is quite a Gen Z word, right? But yes, that is basically what that would mean. So it is but, however, and nevertheless. So there is not much other translation. Yeah, no, that's basically it. So hopefully this is helping you, right? Understand better this word. And then we have 정말. So 정말, we have seen it a lot of times before as well. Does any of you guys remember the meaning behind 정말? Comment down below if you guys remember the meaning behind 정말. Okay, so we have seen it a lot and a lot of times before, so I'm pretty sure you guys will kill this word, right? And remember the translation to this word. So if you watch K-dramas, you have definitely also heard this word a lot because they use it often in K-dramas as well. Thank you so much for the like. Thank you. So comment down below if you guys remember what 정말 would mean. I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to try and guess what that means. So I'm gonna give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. 정말 is really or very. So try to think of when you want to emphasize something. Okay, you can use 정말. So 정말, really, very. So you emphasize something. Are you gonna go live tomorrow? Yes, I will go live tomorrow as well. So today is technically the second day of the week that I'm going to be going live. So tomorrow and Sundays are the day this week that are left where I'm going to be going live. So then we have 기대돼요, which is kind of from the verb 기다리다, which is to wait. And then 돼요, which is from the verb 되다, which either means to become. However, sometimes in grammar pattern, it means either have to, need to, right? We have seen that previously. However, in this context, it's more like can't wait. Try to join because I'm avoiding social media because of, okay, I see. So, yes, I will be going live tomorrow as well at the same time. So if you guys want to join, you just have to join us tomorrow. So here, it's basically saying, sorry, that however, but nevertheless, she is really looking forward to, or she really can't wait, okay, to go camping because even though she has not done it a lot previously, she still likes it. I'll try my best to watch it as fast as possible. It's okay, no worries. So we will be continuing with the next sentence. However, if you have any questions about that one, feel free to comment down below.
가을에는 추석이 있어요. 올해 추석은 9월 29일이에요.
Okay, so just a little reminder, this video was actually posted last year, so this is not accurate, those dates. Thank you so much for the, how do you call that, Zanmang Lupi? Thank you so much, Sophie. Thank you, you're the best. So yes, this is not accurate, those dates, as it was posted last year, but let's repeat everything right together. So we have 가을에는 추석이 있어요. 원래 추석은 9월? Right? Is it 9? Yes, I think it is 9. 월 29일이에요. Sorry, sometimes my numbers I get lost because I don't use them a lot. So let's repeat those sentences together, right? 가을에는 추석이 있어요. 올해 추석은 9월 29일이에요. So let's translate those two sentences together. So we have 가을에는. Does any of you guys remember the meaning when you add Chuseok is amazing, so much food. Yeah. When I was in Korea last year, I actually arrived after Chuseok. No. Huh? Wait. I feel like I arrived after Chuseok. Or maybe it was another holiday. I'm confused now because I was in Seoul at that time. But anyways, so does any of you guys remember what 가을에는 means? So we know that 가을 is fall time, autumn, but together, what does that mean with the 에는 particle? Comment down below if you guys remember what 가을에는 would mean together. Because we have the answer here, right, autumn? But the 에는 adds something else to this sentence. So comment down below if you guys remember what that means. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to try and guess the meaning behind that. But in the meantime, I will drink a little bit of water. Okay, so I see a lot of great answers. So I think a lot of people are either shy or don't know. But 가을에는, 가을, which is fall, and 에는, we have first the 에 particle, which is a location or time particle, and then we have 는, which is topic particle. So together it becomes more like in the fall time or in the fall season or during the fall season, okay? So at that moment, that would be how you can translate that. My friend is going to Korea, but she can't read it and says all she needs is 감사합니다, 안녕, and 안녕하세요. I still really recommend personally to learn slightly more than that. But it is, to be honest, in my own opinion, it's just when I was in Korea, I had some English friends that visited at the same time. And for example, they would talk to the workers in English mostly, and I would speak to them in Korean, and I saw a big difference in how I was treated compared to them. So I still suggest to learn more, but of course, if she doesn't want to, she can, right? But she will be treated better if she learns more sentences. And I have been through that, right? Since I was there last year, and I had a lot of people that I knew that didn't speak Korean or very little, and I saw how different people treated me versus them. I tried to teach her, but she refuses to. Then if she refuses, I guess you try to do your part, right? But hopefully she will still enjoy the trip. Thank you so much for the follow. Just making the genuine effort is appreciated. Yes, exactly. So even just saying a couple words, right, they will still be grateful. But yes, if she just try to do everything in English, I would say some people, not everyone, but some people might treat her differently. Because it's not necessarily also because they are being rude, but a lot of people in Korea are not good at English or doesn't understand well English. So for them, it's kind of a stressing situation if you just go and only talk to them, right, in English. So that might be why sometimes you won't have the same experience as people that talk to them in Korean straightly. Hi, hello Stefan. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing? So let's continue. We have Chuseok. So Chuseok is a Korean holiday that happens during fall time. You can say it's a little bit like, what is it called in English? Thanksgiving? Yeah, I guess it's kind of the Korean Thanksgiving celebration, which is normally around like mid-September to like mid-October, so like within that 1 month frame. That is when it happens in Korea. So most of the time, if you go in Korea around that time, a lot of things might be closed because a lot of people go with their family for like a couple of days during that time. So yes. I have to go now, but I might be back. It's okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here, eating dinner right now. Oh, that is amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thanksgiving. Yes, exactly. So Chuseok is like Thanksgiving in English. Okay. So, and then we have 있어요, which is from the verb 있다. Depending on the context of the sentence, it can either mean to be or to have. So it's basically saying that in the fall time, in the autumn season, okay, there is Chuseok, or they have Chuseok, which is the holiday that is compared to Thanksgiving. And then we have 올해, right? 올해, which is this year. So we have seen, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, that whenever you are talking about years, there are different, right, ways to say that, like compared to, how can I explain that? For example, no, I don't have a great example of things that follows through. But for example, 내년 would be next year. And then we have 올해, which is this year. And then we have 작년, which is last year. So they all have 년 in it. However, the first part switch. Except this year, it doesn't have 년 for some reason. I don't know why. But this one is an exception, right? 올해. So 올해 is this year. And then we have 추석은. So 추석, once again, the Korean holiday. We have 하업월. So it is in, because the way that dates works in Korean, they don't have something like January, February, March, April. They go with numbers. So here, it's basically September, right, which is the 9th month of the year. We have 월, which is the counting unit number associated with months. Did I say November? I don't remember what I said, but 9 months is September. Did I say November? I don't know why. I might have said November for some reason. And then we have 29. Okay, I said September. Okay. First, sometimes I don't hear when I'm talking, like I don't hear what I'm saying. So sometimes I can say some things and don't realize it. So that's why I got confused. What does it say after 29? So, okay, I'm going to explain it. So there are 3 parts, right? There is the number, right, which is 29. So 29, which is the date, right, 29, which technically is in like 5 days. However, like I mentioned, this video was published last year, so it is not accurate. We have il, which is associated. There are 2 translations for il, right? It can either mean work, which in this case doesn't make sense. The second way to use il, it means day. So here it's like the 29th day. And then we have the verb ieo, which is the verb ida, to be. So it's basically saying that it is the 20th day of September this year that Chuseok is happening. So that would be how you can translate this sentence. So let me repeat each word very, very fast, as those sentences are very, very easy. So in the fall time, there is, or they have Chuseok. So this year, Chuseok is on the 29th of September. Sometimes numbers, when it's months, it's hard for my brain. So 29th of September. However, this is not accurate, like I keep mentioning, because this video wasn't published this year. So let's continue with the next sentences. However, if you have any questions about those 2, please feel free to comment down below, and I will answer to the best of my abilities. Can I say that? Yeah. So let's continue now.
그런데 9월 28일부터 10월 3일까지 쉬어요. 올해는 추석 연휴가 긴 것 같아요.
Okay, so let's repeat those sentences together. 그런데 9월 28일부터 10월 3일까지 쉬어요. 4일까지. Yes, I think here it's 4일까지. 3일? Yeah, 3일까지 쉬어요. 원래는 추석 연휴가 긴 것 같아요. Okay, so let me repeat a little bit slower for you guys. So, 그런데 9월 28일부터 10월 3일까지 쉬어요. 원래는 추석 연휴가 긴 것 같아요. Okay, so let's translate everything together now. We have 그런데. So a lot of words, right, today are connective words that are starting with 그. So in this case, what does 그런데 would mean? Comment down below if you guys know. Oh my god, sorry. The screen is cutting. I didn't see. So comment down below if you guys know what 그런데 would mean in this case. So comment down below. Once again, since it is a word that is starting in 그, it is a connective word. What does that mean? Is that it connects the 2 sentences together. So it connects the sentences with the sentence that we found previously. So comment down below if you guys remember or know what 그런데 would mean. I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to try and guess what 그런데 would mean in this case. So does any of you guys want to try and guess once more what 그런데 means? Don't be shy to comment the answer. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water, and then after that I will give you the answer. D-Lander, you're amazing. You know all the answer, but yes. In this case, 그런데 can be translated to but, however. Okay, so it's kind of like, can you say contrary? Contrary? Right? So it's saying that something was like that, but something is like that. Like another way, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. Thank you so much for the follow. Bravo. So yes, you guys were correct. It either means but or however. And then we have 9월. So 9월, once again, which is September. On the contrary. Yes, that can work. Yes, it's something that is like the opposite. Not the opposite because it's not always the opposite. But it's like, I don't know how to explain that. So I'm going to continue further. So we have 9월, so September, 28, so 28, 일, once again, which is day, so on the 20th, 부터, does any of you guys know what 부터 would mean? So 부터 is always glued to another word, so you will never see in one sentence 부터 separate. So it likes to be with his friend, the other letters. So does any of you guys know the meaning of 부터? So it is, I guess you can say, it's a particle of time, right? Yeah, time and frequency. I guess that's how we can say that. Move mouse. No, sadly it doesn't mean that. But does any of you guys know what 부터 would mean? Oh, move mouse. Okay, now I understand. Yeah, because the answer is there. I was like, no, it doesn't mean that. But yes, you guys are correct. So here, 부터, think of it as a starting point from day to other dates. Yes, Cici, that would be correct. 안녕, Audrey. 안녕, Rani. Thank you so much for being here today. 어떻게 지내요? So yes, 부터 is from. So think of it as a starting point of something. And then we have here, which is the ending point. So it is very interesting. You can find those separated, but sometimes, especially if you are saying from this to this, you use both of them. So right, it starts on the 28th of September. Okay, so it's basically saying starting. And then we have 6월, which is October. 3일 같이, so 3, 3, 1, day, and 같이, which is the ending point. So it is the opposite. Thank you so much for the share. Thank you. You guys are the best. So 같이 is the opposite of 부터. So it is the ending point. So it doesn't continue after 같이. It's very the end. So here it's saying that it starts on the 20th and it ends until October 3rd. However, like I mentioned, this year, I think it starts in October. If I'm not mistaken, it is like October 6th or something like that it's starting. I am not completely sure. 안녕하세요, Nisrin. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing? So yes, it was ending last year in the October 3rd. And then we have 쉬워요. Does any of you guys know what that means? So technically, it is from the verb 씻다, right? But it's not really the meaning of this verb. It has a separate meaning. But comment down below if you guys know what does 쉬워요 means. Comment down below. Sorry, I'm having a hard time today. I don't know what is happening. I feel like since the interruption, my brain doesn't want to function. It has been an interruption in my brain as well. So comment down below what 쉬워요 would mean. So it is from the verb 씻다. So comment down below. So I see a lot of great answers. 수학 begins on October 6th this year, if anyone wondering. Yeah, that's what I thought. I checked, and I was like, it is so late this year for some reasons. I really don't know why it's this late. Maybe any of you guys know, right, what they... Because sometimes it's like, oh, the last weekend of like this month, right? So I wonder what's their criteria to choose when is Chuseok each year. Very, very curious because, last year it started on the 20th and now on the 6th. So what is Chuseok? So Chuseok is basically like the Thanksgiving celebration that is in Korea. So people normally go visit their family, they eat a lot of food, and yes, that's basically what this celebration is about. So it's basically the same thing as Thanksgiving in here, like overseas. So yes, 시와요 is from the verb 시다. I want to do to suck the food. Yes, the food is amazing there. Which is also why that if you travel there during that time, a lot of things might be closed because everyone goes to their families. Not everyone, because of course some restaurants and everything still stays open, but a lot of things go visit their families. So traveling during this time in Korea is not the best thing to do. Celebrated on the 15th day of the 8th month of the... Oh my god, what does that mean? Thank you, Google. Thank you for checking, right, Dylander, on Google. But I'm not even sure of understanding what does that even mean. On the 15th day of the 8th month of the lunisolar calendar on the full moon. So it's basically like 15 days after the full moon on the 8th month. Is that what that means? On the 8th month, that doesn't make sense because we're in September. Oh my god, this is so confusing. Very confusing. Thank you for checking, but I don't think I understand even more. So yes, here 쉬어요 in this case, normally it's to rest. However, in this sentence, it is more like expressed like a day off. Okay, so people are now working, right, in between September 28th to October 3rd. So in this case, right, 쉬어요 would be used as rest, but more like resting days. So days that you guys don't work. So it's kind of like you're paid to not work, right? A holiday that lasts more than one day, which doesn't happen in Canada, but apparently it does in Korea. Thank you so much for the follow. And something that was very intriguing when I went to Korea is that in September and October, so like from mid-September to mid-October, there are a lot of celebrations that Korean people don't have work. So they don't have work to celebrate Kim Sejong Hangul, right? That he wrote. I think it's like in October. And then they don't work on Chuseok. And then there is also something military happening in those time where they don't work as well. So I remember when I started working in Korea, I think like the first 3 or 4 weeks of my internship, I had one day less to work or two because they had so many holidays, which doesn't happen in Canada. Like it's impossible to get, first of all, more than one day of holiday, right, together. But yes, very interesting. So let's continue with the next sentence right here. We have 원래는, which is this. No, I'm gonna make you try and guess what that means. So what does 원래 mean? Comment down below if you guys know what 원래 would mean. 원래 would mean. I don't know why I put the 월 in front of it. It's just 원래. Comment down below what 원래 would mean. Comment down below. I almost said the answer, but comment down below if you guys know, right, what 원래 would mean. So I'm gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys are correct. So 원래, sorry, why do I want to say 원래? I think there is another word that is 원래, so it confused me. But yes, 원래, okay, is this year. So this year, 추석. So this year's 추석. 연휴가. Does any of you guys know what 휴가 would mean? Does any of you guys know what 휴가 would mean? Because I'm not sure with 연 what it changes, but let's start with 휴가. What does that normally mean? Right, 휴가. What does it mean in Korean? Comment down below if you guys know the answer. So I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to try and guess what 휴가 is. So I'm gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. 휴가 is a vacation, right, or holiday. So that is what that means. However, with 연 in front of it, I am not sure what it changes. Maybe it's like 연, 휴가. It's just like a weekend holiday. Okay, okay. Okay, so in this case, it is with weekend, which normally is 주말. Okay, consecutive holidays. That makes sense. I'm gonna add that to my list of words. So technically it's like consecutive holiday, which means that you have more than one day after the other that is a holiday, which doesn't happen in Canada. So as I was saying, it happens in Korea. It doesn't want me to write down, please computer. Very sorry about that. Let me just write very, very quickly that word because I want to remember for next time. Okay, so yes, like I said, 연휴가 is, oh my god, the screen is very bad. I have a lot of trouble today. Okay, so 연휴가 is like consecutive holidays. So it's when you have more than one holiday day after the other. Then we have 긴, right? So does any of you guys know? Did you turn off the music? Yes, I don't have music. But what does 긴 mean? Comment down below if you guys know what 긴 would mean. So it is technically an adjective that is related to 연휴가. Comment down below if you guys know what it add more, right? When we have 긴, so it is an adjective that complements this word just right here. So comment down below if you guys know what that means. So I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to try and guess. Okay, I'm gonna give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. 긴 is something that is either long, yes, long or big, but it's more like long. Okay, so it's basically saying long holiday in this case, which is like more than one day. So it is a very long holiday. And then we have 것 같아요. Okay, so does any of you guys know what that means? So I think some comments were hidden for some reasons. So does any of you guys know what that means when you had 것 같아요 to a sentence? So we have seen that a lot and a lot of times before. So comment down below if you guys remember what 것 같아요 would mean. So it adds something to the sentence. So it had, like here it says to belong, but it is from the verb 길다. So she didn't put it at the right place. But 것 같아요, what does that mean? Comment down below. So here it goes under here, not 것 같아요. So what does that mean? Comment down below. I'm going to give you a few more seconds while I drink a little bit of water. Okay. So I'm going to give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So whenever you want to add 것 같아요 to a sentence, it basically means I think. So she is not, how can I say that? She is saying basically her opinion. So it might not be the truth, right? That it's the longest holiday, right, this year for Chuseok. But she thinks that way. So it might not be correct, but that is giving opinion. Yes, exactly. So she is giving her opinion, what she thinks. So she thinks, okay, that this year's Chuseok is the longest consecutive holiday. Okay, so she is thinking that it's the most right holiday days that they had for Chuseok this year for I don't know how many years, right? So that would be how we can translate this sentence. Thank you so much for the follow. So let me repeat very quickly those two sentences and then we might be able to do one more. So we have 그런데 but September 28th starting from October 3rd until resting days. This year's Chuseok consecutive holiday long, I think. So that would be how this is translated, right, from Korean to English. So let's jump to the next sentence. However, if you have any questions about those two sentences, please free to comment down below and I will answer as soon as possible.
저는 추석에 할머니, 할아버지 집에 갔어요. 그리고 친척들을 만났어요.
Okay, so let's repeat those two sentences together. 저는 추석에 할머니, 할아버지 집에 갔어요. 그리고 친척들을 만났어요. So let's repeat a little bit slower this time. 저는 추석에 할머니, 할아버지 집에 갔어요. 그리고 친척들을 만났어요. So let's translate everything together. Visiting grandparents. That could be correct. It's not 100% correct, but you're in the right direction. So we have 저는, which is me, in the formal version, right? So remember, 저는, you always need to add 요입니다, 합니다, 씁니다. So you cannot just write 가서 and use 저는. Okay, so I am, or me, okay? 추석해, so at 추석. So 추석, it is the holiday. We have the particle, which is a location or time. So we can translate that like at 추석, like right at this celebration. Okay, during that time also can work. 할머니, which is grandmother. 할아버지, which is grandfather. 집에, so 집에 is home, right? So home, we have the particle, location or time once again. And then we have 갔어요, which is from the verb 갔다. Does any of you guys remember what the verb 갔다 mean? Comment down below if you remember what the verb 갔다 mean. So here we have a double shiat under here. So technically it is in the past tense. So comment down below if you guys remember what does that mean. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few more seconds to try and guess what 갔다 mean. So I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. 갔다 is from the verb to go. So in this case, it's in the past tense, so it means went. So it's saying that hi, okay, for 추석, okay, she went at the parents of her grandmother and grandfather. So I guess the celebration was happening at her grandparents' house. So that would be, right, how this sentence is translated. So let's go with the second one right here. So we have 그리고, which is once again a connective word. So does any of you guys remember what 그리고 mean? D-Lander, you're fast. So comment down below if you guys remember, right, 그리고, what does that mean? So we have seen it in a lot of times before. So comment down below if you guys know what 그리고 would mean. In this case, I'm going to give you so quick. Yes, I know, right? You guys are so quick. So I'm going to give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yes, you guys are correct. 그리고 means and. However, like I keep mentioning, there are different ways to say and in Korean. It's very, very important to remember when to use which one. So 그리고, you want to use that at the beginning of the sentence most of the time to connect those two sentences together. So sometimes you have a sentence that is too long. So what you can do is you split it in half and then you start with 그리고 and finish with the idea that you have. Just like here, right? Technically, she could have put it into one sentence, but it would have been a lot of information just in one sentence. So she decided to split it and continue with her second idea. So 그리고 means and. We have 친척들을. So we have 친척, which is relative, okay? We have 들. Does any of you guys remember what 들 mean when you add it to a word? So it is a particle that is always added to another word to mean something. So does any of you guys know what 들 would mean? Comment down below if you guys know what 들 would mean in this context. Okay, I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to try and guess what 들 would mean in this context. So many good answers. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you guys are correct. You want to add the 들 when you make it plural. So it's more than one relative. So you can translate that in English as the S, right, at the end. So relatives, and we have 만났어요, which is from the verb 만나다, to meet. We have a double shiat under here, so we know it is in the past tense, so it's basically saying met. And she met relatives. So she went to her grandparents' house, and she also met other relatives that were there that day. Sometimes 추석 or other holidays are basically one of the few times of the year where you will meet your whole family together in Korea. So it's a very, very interesting holiday. So we might be able to do one more sentence. So comment down below if you guys want me to do one more sentence. If not, that will be the end for today. But please comment down below if you guys want me to make one more sentence, or do we call it the end for today? So comment down below, okay, if you guys want me to do one more. If not, that will be the end for today. So I'm gonna give you a few more seconds to answer if you guys want me to continue, or do we call it a day? Absolutely, yes, yes. Okay, perfect. So let's continue with one more sentence, and then sadly that would be the end for today, but we will see each other tomorrow as well. Is 서요 the only way to conjugate in the past in this formality? So it really depends. Like the double shiot right here, right? That's what it makes past tense. However, here it's just the formality. So for example, you could just say 만나서, 만나서요, or 만나, like the very top, because it's not just 만났습니다. 만났습니다. Yes, so it's basically the only way that you can convert a verb into past tense, okay? But you can use it with all the formalities. So all the ending, it will change slightly, but it's mostly the only way to make a sentence into past tense. So there is other, I would say, grammar pattern for verbs that would change slightly, but 만났습니다. Yes, exactly. So that would be more like in the past tense. Okay, so let's continue with one more sentence.
할머니, 할아버지 집에서 밥을 먹었어요. 맛있는 음식을 많이 먹었어요.
Okay, so let's repeat that sentence above. I'm not sure if we will be making this one, but it might be for tomorrow if you guys stay. So let's repeat that sentence together. 할머니, 할아버지 집에서 밥을 먹었어요. So if you guys have the translation to this sentence, which is very easy, you can comment down below already. So we have 할머니, which is grandmother. We have 할아버지, which is grandfather. We have 집에서, which is at home. However, does any of you guys remember what 에서 particle, like what's the purpose of it in the sentence? So comment down below. We have seen a lot of 에 particle only today, but it is the first 에서 that we see. So comment down below if you remember what 집에서, the 에서 particle, what does it mean? Okay, so what is the difference with the 에 particle and eso particle? That is basically the answer that I want to hear. So, right? What is the difference? What does it add to the sentence? It gives us a little hint of what's about to come, basically. So comment down below. I'm going to give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm not sure anyone mentioned it, but we have tip, which is home, right, or house. We have the eso particle. Normally a particle is associated with time or location, so we know that there is a time or location that simply exists. However, we have the so that is added to it, so it's eso. It's once again still a particle of location or time. However, like someone just mentioned in the comments, it basically means that there is an action happening at the location. So it gives us that something happened there at home, okay? So it's not just a location that gives context to the person, right, where this sentence is located in, but there is also an action that is happening at the location, which is 먹었어요. Okay, so the action, which is from the verb 먹다. So we have papel. Papel, it can be confusing for a very early beginner because normally it means rice, but it can also mean meals, okay? So whenever Korean talk about meals, they also use papel. Okay, so sometimes you will see it as 음식, which is food, but when they want to talk about a meal, right, generally they use papel. And we have 먹었어요, which is from the verb 먹다, to eat. Once again, there is a double shiot under here, so we know that it is in the past tense. So it's basically saying that at their grandmother and grandfather's house, okay, they ate. in English you would say they ate, but you can say they ate the meal, right? Meal. It took a long time to figure it out. Was that was more than rice? Yes, exactly. I feel like a lot of beginners, especially, don't understand. They think, why are they saying they're eating rice, right? But in this case, they also use it to talk about meals. I think it was from. This is my opinion, so I might not be correct, but a lot of dishes in Korean gives you rice, or people ask for rice. So I think that is why they kind of put that also mean like a meal. I'm not sure, but yes, so rice means meal. So yes, pop can mean rice, or Koreans also use that to explain meals. So sometimes, right, they would say 밥 먹을래? So right, should we or like 밥 먹자, like let's go eat, right? So often would you say it like this, or use ha between the relatives? So the thing is, ha is used only in written form, so technically that could work, okay? But you don't say that out loud. So it's, how can I say that? Yes, it's only in like formal and written form that you use hwa and kwa, right? If you want to use in more casual, you can say like, for example, 랑 or hako, okay, since they are nouns. But here it's not necessary, since it's especially like beginner level. I think she simplified those sentences. But yes, you can use like hako or 랑 in more casual settings like here. So hwa, kwa is more in very formal settings, so written forms and more like formal documents or things like that. So you don't use it a lot in Korean day-to-day life. So hopefully this is helping you understand better. But in this case, it is not necessary. Okay? Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Since she separated it with the comma, technically it is not necessary. So thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So it's basically saying, right, that at their grandmother's and grandfather's house, they ate. They ate a meal. But in English, you can just say they ate. So yes, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So that will be the end for today. But before we finish, I wanted to remind you guys that, like, if you're not ready for my all-in-one Korean planner that I promoted yesterday, I actually made a free version that is available, the link under my description. So if you want to get it, it's a good start to keep like track of your learnings, especially if you are learning also through my Korean study live streams. So it helps you structure and create a consistent routine in your study. So you can grab it, the link in my bio, if you guys are interested to. Oh yes, I need to download it. That is amazing. I keep forgetting. It's okay, no worries. Thank you so much for the follow. So it's a small little things to thank you guys for your support. And also, if you want the all-in-one version, I also have this one available, link in bio as well. However, the all-in-one is paid, and the free version is a very short version, which is 4 pages, and the longer version is basically more than 40 pages. So you can pick whatever you prefer. So that will be the end for today. I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time, which is from an hour ago than today. Not than today, then right now, from your time zone. Also, the emoji for today, I was about to forget about the emoji for today. The emoji for today, yesterday it was the leaves. Today, what can it be? Sun. Okay, so the emoji for today is gonna be the sun. So how does it work? The emoji of the day is basically the next time you either see one of my videos on your For You page, or the next time that you join one of my Korean study live stream, you can put this emoji and I will know that you were there today. So it's kind of like a secret code between each other to know which one was here during this Korean study live streams, and it basically switches every live streams. So if you want to make sure to not miss it and be part of this little secret, make sure to join us each time. And yes, it's basically to see each other from far away and recognize each other without everyone else understanding, right, what this is about. So today's emoji will be the sun emoji. So a reminder, if you see one of my videos in your For You page, or next time you join one of my Korean study live streams, you can use this emoji and I will know that you were there today. So do you guys have any more questions? If not, that will be the end for today. But thank you so much all for being here. I had a great time. Very sorry that there was some lags, or I don't know what was happening. That was very, very unfortunate. But hopefully you guys were still able to enjoy and learn a lot of things from after that. 감사합니다. 네. So also very, very small reminder. Okay, last thing. I also post those Korean study live streams on YouTube. So if you are not able to make it one day, or you want to revisit some things that you're not sure you remember or something, you can watch it again on YouTube. So I will be posting today the study session from yesterday. So you can go on YouTube, write Audrey in Seoul, or you can also find the link under my description. It has everything that you need, right, to have. So small reminder for anyone that is interested, I post those Korean study session again on YouTube, so you will be able to rewatch it even though it is not live. So thank you so much for being here once again today, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay? 안녕히 계세요, 여러분. 고마워요. 내일 봐요. 안녕. 안녕.